My beloved child, hear the tender voice of heaven speaking to your heart. The Lord says, your mother who now abides in my eternal presence has been interceding again and again, longing with all her being to deliver one final message to you. Her love has not been silenced by the veil of eternity, and now the heavens themselves can no longer restrain the cry of her heart. She has seen the heaviness that lingers over your days and the silence that fills your night. She has witnessed the hidden tears, the quiet prayers, and the unspoken ache that no one else has understood. With great compassion, she has pleaded before me to grant her this moment, this sacred hour, to reach across eternity and speak through my spirit before the door to this divine message closes forever. If as you listen your heart begins to stir and you sense these words are meant for you, open your spirit and receive them as truth, for heaven is calling your name even now. There are things she longed to say while she walked the earth, words that go beyond human language, truths your heart has yearned to hear, even when you could not name the longing. She has wrestled through heaven's light, filled with love and holy urgency, crying out for one more chance to reach you. She knows how swiftly time passes. She knows the hidden wounds you carry, the ones you buried deep beneath your strength. And she knows that if this moment is not embraced, her message may not find its way to you again. That is why I, your Heavenly Father, am allowing her voice to move through these words, not by the flesh, but by the Spirit before this day comes to its close. If you believe that heaven speaks in perfect timing, open your heart in faith and let these words become life within you. She remembers you as a child, the light in your eyes, the way you sought her smile for assurance, the way your small hands reached for hers when fear tried to steal your peace. Though she may not have spoken every word you needed while she lived, she wants you to know now from eternity's side that she sees you. She forgives every distance, every misunderstanding, and every moment lost in pain. She is proud, so deeply proud, of the person you have become. Even when the world failed to tell you so, heaven took note of every tear you shed, thinking of her. I, the Lord, have gathered those tears like treasures, precious jewels glimmering in my hand, and I have held them close to my heart. Your mother never ceased to pray for you. Even here, in the light of my glory, her prayers rise stronger than ever. Her love has not diminished, it has deepened, purified by the fire of eternal love. You were never truly alone in your sorrow. Even when you thought she had left you behind, her presence remained in the gentle wind that brushed your face, in the unexpected peace that calmed your heart, in the dream that felt more real than the waking world. Your mother's message is not only one of remembrance, it is one of destiny. She sees how you have struggled, how you have wrestled with the unseen battles of the soul. She has interceded before me with tears, asking that I clear your path, that I open doors no man can shut, that I protect you from betrayal, from weariness, from the sting of loss. Her prayers rise before me like incense, fragrant and unceasing, and I have heard them. I have seen the tears that fall from heaven's edge for your sake. You may have felt lost, but I am not lost. I am with you. I am guiding you, surrounding you, and holding you through it all. Your mother's heart remains bound to yours by a love that death could never sever. Her desire is that you no longer carry guilt, regret, or fear for the days ahead. She wants you to lift your head and remember who you are, chosen, beloved, and anointed for purposes far greater than your pain. Life may have tried to silence your strength, but I, the Lord, am breathing life back into you now. Receive my spirit, for where there has been mourning, there will be joy. Where there has been loss, there will be restoration. And where there has been silence, there will be the sound of new beginnings. So open your heart, my child, and let heaven's peace fill you. For this message is not a farewell, it is a holy reminder that love never dies, that prayer never ceases, and that my presence will walk with you until the day you meet again face to face in the eternal light of my glory. My beloved child, when the dawn breaks tomorrow, there will be a sacred shift in the atmosphere around you. A quiet movement of my spirit that will begin to change the course of your days. Yet before this night passes, before the clock reaches its appointed hour, You must open your heart fully to receive what heaven has prepared. For your mother's spirit has been reaching toward you with love and longing for so long, waiting for this very moment to touch your soul. This is a divine window, a holy opening between eternity and time. And if you let it pass unnoticed, the weight that has rested upon your heart may linger longer than it was ever meant to. This moment is not an accident. It is heaven's orchestration, a sacred intersection where your mother's prayer meets my promise. You have been chosen, my child, to receive something holy tonight, a release from the heaviness that has clung to your spirit, a covering of divine protection over your family, and the beginning of a new and radiant path. The very one your mother always hoped you would walk. For though life has brought storms and seasons of breaking, nothing, not even death, has ever separated you from her love or from mine. When you wandered from prayer, when faith felt distant, when hope grew dim, I held you still because she asked me to. Her last words before I brought her home were filled with your name. With tears of love she prayed, Lord, protect them from the storms I can see coming. Guard their heart. Remind them, even when the world turns cold, that heaven still believes in them. And I heard her. She pleaded again, Father, do not let them give up on themselves. Do not let them forget the light you placed within them. And when they reach the end of their strength, when their heart feels empty, send this message. Let me speak just once more. So now, my beloved, understand that this is not just a message. This is an answer to a mother's prayer that rose before my throne like fragrant incense. Because of her faith, I am wrapping you now in a divine covering so strong that no darkness can pierce it unless I allow it for your growth. I am moving through your body, bringing quiet healing to places of pain. I am restoring balance to your mind and peace to your emotions. I am breathing new life into relationships that have grown cold and into dreams that seemed lost. I am working in silence, turning around what you thought was finished, gathering the scattered pieces of your life into order again. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. My plan for you has not been cancelled. It is being fulfilled moment by moment, even now. And your mother sees all of this. She stands in my presence with tears of joy, smiling through the light of eternity. She sees the battles that lie behind your silence, the effort behind your weary smile, the whispered prayers that rise from your heart when no one is watching. She sees the strength it takes for you to keep going, and she gives thanks that you have received this moment of grace. She has never stopped believing in you, and neither have I. You have carried her absence like a silent stone upon your back, bearing it with quiet endurance while pretending to be strong. There have been moments when your heart felt heavy for no reason you could name. Times when her name drifted through your thoughts like a breeze, bringing tears you tried to hide. She saw it all, every ache, every sigh, every memory that crossed your soul. She felt it in heaven's light and asked me for just one way to reach you, one way to tell you she never left, one way to remind you that she is still near, still proud, still full of faith in who you are becoming. And I listened. I saw your loneliness. I saw the shadow of regret and the quiet longing you tried to silence. And I said, yes, let her speak again, because I knew your heart was ready. I knew this was the hour when her love would meet your need. So hear her now through my spirit. She forgives every wound, even the ones caused by words left unspoken. Her love has been perfected in my presence, and it flows now to you, cleansing, restoring, renewing. Receive this, my child. Let her love and my love lift the burden from your soul. The dawn that is coming will not be like the days before. It will carry the fragrance of healing, the sound of peace, and the warmth of divine favor resting upon you. You are surrounded by grace. You are covered by prayer. And you are loved more deeply than you have ever known, both in heaven and on earth. My beloved child, even the mistakes you thought were buried deep within your past have never diminished the love that surrounds you. Nothing you did or failed to do has ever changed how your mother loves you. Now that she sees from the glorious side of eternity, her understanding has been made perfect. She no longer sees through the veil of pain or confusion that once clouded human sight, but through the radiant clarity of my divine light. And as she beholds you now through the eyes of heaven, her love for you has only deepened, purified, and made whole in my presence. There were moments in her earthly life when words could not express the fullness of what she felt. Her own wounds and burdens sometimes kept her silent, but never, not for one heartbeat, did her love for you fade. Now in the freedom of eternity, she desires to speak what her earthly lips could not say. She wants you to know that there was never a second in time when she did not carry you within her heart. Even as she drew her last breath, your name and your spirit were held tenderly within her. And even now she has not ceased to watch over you, to pray over you, and to intercede for your peace before my throne. Her love continues to flow toward you like a living stream, unbroken, unwavering, eternal. There is more she has asked me to reveal, something you have needed to hear, not only from her, but from me, your heavenly Father. Listen closely, my child. You are not a disappointment. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You have not failed. Life has pressed hard upon you. The enemy has whispered lies, trying to convince you that your time has passed, that your moment has slipped away. But hear my voice now, clear and certain. The plan I wrote for your life is still alive. Every chapter, every promise, every destiny I ordained for you remains untouched by time or circumstance. Your mother wanted you to know this truth. She never wanted you to live imprisoned by fear, guilt, or silence. From this place of eternal light, she sees how hard you tried, how deeply you loved, how long you endured. And she is so proud. You have become stronger than you realize. You held on when giving up would have been easier. You kept walking through shadows when everything within you cried out to stop. She has seen the dullness that fatigue brought to your eyes, and she has asked me to restore the light, the divine spark that once shone so brightly within you. This is her final message, but it is not merely for comfort. It is also a call to destiny. She does not want you merely to survive. She wants you to rise, to live in freedom, in purpose, and in divine healing. You were born with something rare and sacred inside of you, a light she recognized long before anyone else did. She always believed that there was something special about you, something heaven ordained. And now I, the Lord, am confirming it. You were chosen not only by her love, but by my hand. Even now, blessings are being released in response to her prayers. Doors that have long been shut are beginning to open. Paths that seemed blocked are being cleared by my Spirit. There are storms you never saw, battles you never fought, dangers you never faced, because she stood before me and cried out on your behalf, and I listened. There were moments when you did not even know the storm was forming, but I calmed it before it reached you. You may not feel ready, but I am saying you are. You may not feel worthy, but I am declaring that you are. My hand is upon your life, and your mother's soul is at peace, knowing that I am guiding you in all things. You are not abandoned. You are not stuck. You are stepping into the very moment she prayed for, the breakthrough she hoped you would see, the healing she asked me to bring, and the protection she begged me to wrap around you like a shield of light. There is no darkness that can withstand what I am doing for you now. No voice can rise louder than mine. Listen, my beloved, your life is not over. Your best days are not behind you. Your pain will not be wasted. Everything your mother longed to see blossom in your life is still unfolding under my divine timing. It may not appear as you once imagined. It may take a road you did not expect, but the destination is still the same: wholeness, light, and peace. She longed to hold you once more, to speak these truths face to face, to remind you of her love with her arms around you. But now, she watches from eternity with tears of joy, knowing that even though she cannot return to you, Her love has, her words have, her spirit has, and I have allowed it because your heart needed this now more than ever. I love you too much to let this go unspoken. So open your heart wide, my child. Let my spirit move upon you like a gentle wind. Let yourself breathe again. Let the pain melt away in my presence. What has felt heavy will become light. What has been broken will be made whole. What has been silent will resound with joy once more. Her final message is not an ending, it is a beginning. It is heaven's whisper calling you into a new season of peace, of healing, of divine restoration. Receive it with faith and know this truth. Heaven chose this exact moment for your heart to be healed, for your spirit to be strengthened, and for your life to be made new. Though her earthly body grew weary and her strength slowly faded, her soul never ceased to reach toward the light of my presence. Now through you she is finally able to speak the words that once trembled in the silence of her heart. Words she longed to say each time she saw sadness in your eyes, every moment you hid your pain behind a brave smile, and each time you walked into a room pretending to be strong while your heart was quietly breaking inside. There was a simple, sacred prayer, once hidden away, forgotten by the world, that is now being rediscovered as a key of faith that opens the door to abundance and divine provision. This short but powerful prayer awakens the spirit, renewing the mind and releasing the flow of heaven's supply. Those who whisper it in faith are testifying to debts erased, unexpected blessings, and miracles of provision that could only come from my hand. For I am the God who delights in giving more than enough to those who trust in me. She told me about the nights when you could not sleep, when you stared at the ceiling with tears that refused to fall, wondering if she could still see you. She could, and she still does. When your hands trembled with anxiety, she was near. When you tried to be strong for others, she was there, whispering softly, "You do not have to be strong alone." Every unspoken prayer, every silent cry that never reached your lips, she heard them, and I heard them. She watched you carry your grief like it was your duty to survive. But now she longs to lift that heavy burden from your shoulders forever. She wants you to know with all the love that heaven can hold, that it was never your fault, none of it. The misunderstandings, the missed chances, the words left unsaid, release them now. She carries none of that pain anymore. What remains is only love, pure, eternal, and unshakable love for you. From where she now stands, her vision is clear and her heart is whole. All she desires is for you to stop punishing yourself for what you could not control. She says, "Tell them I see the beauty of their heart more clearly now than ever before. Tell them I am proud of their courage, their honesty, and their faith. Tell them they have always been more than enough." And so I am telling you these very words just as she spoke them, because she deserves to be heard and you deserve to remember how profoundly you are loved. This moment you are in now is not just emotional, it is holy. Her love, your brokenness, and my divine power have met together in one sacred space. This is where healing begins. This is where guilt melts away and grace flows like a river through your soul. This is where I make all things new, not because everything around you has become perfect, but because you are finally awakening to the truth that you were never unloved, not even for a single heartbeat. You have carried so much, my child, the weight of things you couldn't fix, the grief you couldn't name, the duty to hold it all together. But you do not have to carry it anymore. I am here. She is with me, and her spirit rests in peace, knowing that I am taking care of you. She is still praying for you, but now her prayers rise from before my throne. She asks me to strengthen you, and I answer with my power. She asks me to restore your hope, and I pour out my comfort. She asks me to open new doors before you, and even now I am preparing those very doors to appear. Because she has found favor in my sight, and because of her prayers and your perseverance, you have found favor too. She wants you to live again, not merely to survive, but to truly live. To stop existing in the shadow of yesterday and to begin receiving the fullness of my grace. She sees the blessings that are on their way to you and rejoices, knowing how deeply you deserve peace, not fleeting moments of calm, but a life filled with divine serenity. She knows how long you have tried to be enough for everyone else, but now she wants you to know that you are enough for yourself. It is time to breathe again, to laugh again, to dream again. Forgive not only others but yourself. You have been too harsh toward your own soul, holding on to past mistakes as though they define who you are, but they do not. I define you, and I say you are my beloved child, chosen, forgiven, and held in my everlasting arms. She prayed, Lord, let them walk in your light. Let them no longer hide their pain. Let them feel again. Let them love without fear. And I will honor that prayer, for love never ends. The love between you and your mother still lives. It moves, breathes, and speaks through me. I am the God who carries every word she speaks and places them directly into your spirit. At the exact moment your heart is ready to receive them, this is that moment. I have wrapped you in her prayers and in my spirit. From this very hour, the emptiness that has followed you will begin to fade. You will feel lighter. You will start to notice the beauty in small things again. You will smile not because every problem has vanished, but because something sacred is awakening within you. You have endured silent battles, walked through fires, and held yourself together when no one was watching. And through it all, your mother saw every tear, every tremor, every moment you almost gave up. From her place beside me, she wept and prayed, saying, Lord, please let them feel how loved they are. Let them know I never stopped praying. Let them know I never left them in spirit. And I said yes. I said yes because I love you more deeply than you can comprehend. I said yes because her love, now refined and eternal, was so pure, so selfless, so full of me that I could not deny it. Her love has become intercession, her tears have become worship, and her voice has become part of my divine plan to restore everything that life tried to steal from you. She remembers the little things, the sound of your laughter, the way your eyes once searched for her approval, the gentle expressions that spoke more than words ever could. She carries those memories not as sorrow but as radiant joy. For even the moments of pain and confusion have now been transformed by heaven into divine clarity and perfect grace. She longs for you to release the heavy burden of what could have been, to stop measuring yourself by the mistakes or misunderstandings of the past. She sees now with perfect understanding that you were doing your best all along. She wants you to stop blaming yourself for what you could not have known. For you have grown, you have endured, and through your endurance, something holy has been formed within you. You have become stronger than you ever imagined, shaped by tears that turned into prayers and pain that was refined into perseverance. And now it is time to stop merely surviving and to begin becoming, for I still have a life waiting for you, a life overflowing with blessings your mother once asked me to pour into your hands. Her prayers, whispered through the corridors of heaven, have not been forgotten. They are alive, surrounding you, preparing a new season of favor, abundance, and restoration. There is a mystery unfolding, a spiritual principle even science cannot fully comprehend. A few simple words, when spoken with faith and belief, can renew the mind and open the heart to receive divine provision. Those who speak these words daily with sincerity are seeing burdens lifted, opportunities unlocked, and peace replacing anxiety. For what they are truly awakening is not just the mind's potential but the spirit's alignment with my abundance. Yet beyond all discovery and mystery, the truth remains the same. Every gift, every blessing, every miracle of provision flows from my hand and is sustained by my love. She once prayed, God, if they ever forget how special they are, remind them that I always saw the light in them, even when the world overlooked them. And that is what I am doing now. I am reminding you that you are not a forgotten soul drifting through the noise of life, but a precious part of a heavenly legacy, a living answer to a mother's final request. You are loved, not only by her but by me. You have fought silent battles, grieved quietly in the dark, and wondered whether you are still allowed to dream, to feel deeply again, to believe that something beautiful could rise from the ashes of all you have lost. Hear me clearly, my child. It can, it will. For I am not finished with you yet. Your mother's greatest desire was not simply that you remember her, but that you remember who you are, my creation, my beloved, full of light and purpose. She always saw strength in you, even when you couldn't see it yourself. And now she watches from eternity, her vision unclouded, seeing that same strength still alive within you, steady, waiting, ready to rise again. This is that moment. Let healing begin. Let the guilt fall away. Let the grief soften and turn into something gentle, something you can carry without breaking. Let your memories transform into peace, not pain. Let my presence wash over you like a quiet river flowing through every dry and weary place in your soul, until all that remains is rest, stillness, and holy renewal. She sees you smiling again. Not the mask of a smile worn for others, but the genuine, unguarded smile that will return when you begin to believe that there is more to live for than survival alone. She sees you laughing again, opening your heart to love again, walking forward with purpose, peace, and promise. You are not walking into the future alone. She walks with me now, but her spirit surrounds you in ways unseen, gentle, comforting, and constant. You will feel it in the quiet, when your thoughts grow still. You will sense it in the moments of fear, when courage unexpectedly rises within you. That is her. That is me. That is love that cannot die. I know you miss her. I know your heart still aches to hear her voice, to feel her touch, to see her face. And though I cannot return her to the world, I have allowed her voice to reach you through mine. Because her final prayer was not for herself, but for you. She asked that you would know, beyond all doubt, that she never stopped loving you. Not for 1 second. She wanted you to live free, unshackled from fear, guilt, and regret. And now her voice has joined the eternal chorus of heaven's worship. Each time you choose to live again, each time you smile or forgive or hope, you are honoring her far more deeply than with any flower or candle. You are fulfilling her prayer. So live, my beloved one. Laugh without fear, rest without shame, and never ever doubt that you are still loved beyond words, both by her and by me. For her heart is still speaking, her prayers are still moving, and her love is still alive in my presence. There is more to release and more to receive, and I will not stop until every blessing she asked for you has been poured into your life. Her heart has more to say, and I am not finished yet. Stay open, stay near, for heaven is holding you now, wrapping you in divine protection, grace, and peace. She sees the way you carry yourself, strong, steady, holding everything together for everyone else. And she remembers the child who once looked to her for answers, for comfort, for reassurance. She wants you to know that the same love that once flowed through her arms now flows through mine, and it will never let you go. She looks upon you now with tears of joy and pride shining in her eyes, because even through all the storms you faced, you never stopped moving forward. You held on to hope, even when it flickered like a fading candle in the dark. You carried her love in your heart, even when it felt distant and silent. And now, because of your endurance, I have allowed this sacred moment to unfold, not only to honor her memory, but to restore your soul. There were things she longed to say, but never found the strength to voice. Things she could not express while wrapped in the frailty of her earthly body. Yet now, clothed in eternity and surrounded by my glory, her heart speaks freely through the stillness of my spirit. She longs for you to stop being so hard on yourself. She sees the way you doubt your worth, the way you speak to yourself in quiet heaviness, the way you silently question whether you are doing enough, being enough, living right. From eternity she is crying out saying, tell them they are more than enough. Tell them I see their effort, their honesty, their beauty, their goodness. And I, your heavenly Father, I'm telling you now, not just through her love, but through my eternal truth, that you are my creation, wonderfully and fearfully made in my image. You were never meant to carry the burden of shame or the weight of silent guilt. You were designed to walk in truth, to live covered in grace, and to rest in a love that never runs dry. Your mother sees how you love others, the quiet sacrifices, the moments you give of yourself when no one notices, the way you smile even when your heart is weary. She wants you now to pour that same tenderness back into yourself, to treat your own soul with the same kindness you've offered so freely to others. She wants you to feel worthy again, not because of your achievements or strength, but simply because of who you are, beloved, chosen, and precious in my sight. And she wants you to know something else, that she has been protecting you. There were dangers that passed by unnoticed, accidents that never happened, moments when you suddenly felt peace in the middle of chaos. Those were not coincidences. That was me, honoring her prayers. Through my spirit, her love became a shield around your life, surrounding you with divine safety and unseen mercy. You did not realize how many times you were spared, how often my angels intervened, because someone in heaven was still interceding for you, still calling your name before my throne, still believing for your life. Yes, even when you stopped praying, she did not stop. When you turned away in pain, she turned toward me with tears, saying, Lord, hold them close, don't let them slip away. And I listened. I could not ignore the voice of such love, a love purified, eternal, and full of my own heart. So even when you thought I was silent, I was there. Even when you could not feel me, I was surrounding you. I never let go of you, because she never stopped asking me to keep you safe. Her prayers built a wall of light around your destiny, and her faith became part of the divine plan I wrote for your life. Her love has touched every corner of your journey, and now that love is about to move even deeper. She is asking me not only to comfort you, but to bless you, to prosper you, to bring beauty from your ashes and joy from your mourning. She wants to see the light return to your eyes, that holy light of hope and faith that once burned so brightly. And I am answering that prayer now, for your future is not dim. Your story is not finished. The same God who carried her home is carrying you into a new season of favor and restoration. She also asked me to tell you this, Lord, let them know I forgive them. And I hope they forgive me too. She knows there were moments of distance, of misunderstanding, of unspoken pain. But all of that has been washed away in the river of my mercy. Nothing remains unresolved between you now, only love. Pure, endless, heavenly love that transcends time, distance, and even death. So, my beloved child, let peace enter your heart. Let the forgiveness she offers flow freely into your spirit. Let the love I am pouring into you now wash away every trace of guilt, fear, or regret. You are covered in grace. You are surrounded by light, and both heaven and I are rejoicing, because you are beginning to believe again, not just in her love, but in mine. My beloved, she now prays for you, not with the fragile voice of this world, but with the eternal calm that comes only from me. She longs for you to live in peace, not the fleeting peace that the world offers, but the deep, soul-restoring peace that comes from my spirit. It is the kind of peace that quiets the endless what-ifs, that silences the heavy should-haves, and dissolves the weight of all you wish you could have changed. She is free now, completely free, and she wants you to share in that freedom. Let go. Let the regrets be washed away in my mercy. Release the moments you cannot rewrite. For though you cannot change the past, I can redeem it. I am the one who takes pain and turns it into something sacred, who transforms loss into testimony and sorrow into song. This message itself is proof that nothing is wasted in my hands, that love never dies, that grace continues to move even after the final goodbye. Her love for you transcends time, distance, and imperfection. And my love for you, the love that created you, has never changed and never will. The love between you and her has simply taken on a new form, one that flows through every word I speak, through every tear you shed, through every breath you take from this moment forward. Your mother has stood before my throne in the courts of heaven, day after day, pleading for this very moment to come. She never asked for comfort, for reward, or for rest. Her prayer was only for you, that I would touch your heart, that I would lift your spirit, that I would bring this divine encounter before the heaviness became too great to bear. Because I love her and I love you, I said yes. You did not need another reminder of loss, my child. You needed a reminder of presence. You needed to know that she never truly left you, and that I have never withdrawn from you. Every breath you have taken since she crossed into glory has been protected by my hand and blessed by her intercession. Even when you felt abandoned, when the silence seemed unbearable, I was there. She was there. And now, as my spirit moves within you, I am lifting from your heart the unseen weight you have carried. Guilt, regret, sadness, confusion, all being gently stripped away, piece by piece. Her deepest desire is not for you to remember her through pain, but to hold her memory in peace. She longs for you to live, not merely to exist, but to embrace the fullness of life she always hoped you would. From heaven, she now sees what she could not always see on earth. She sees how deeply you loved her, how fiercely you tried, how faithfully your heart remained connected even when your voice could no longer find the words. She is proud of you. She sees the strength it took to rise each morning, to keep moving forward when it felt as though your world had fallen apart. She knows the ache that comes in quiet hours when her absence feels unbearable, yet still you rose, still you believed, even when you could not explain what you were believing for. Her prayer now reaches deeper into eternity. She wants you to forgive yourself for what you didn't know, for what you couldn't do, for what you have held on to as though it were your fault. It was never your fault. Release it now. Stop punishing yourself. Stop carrying burdens that were never meant to be yours. I am taking them from you. I am placing peace where pain once lived, planting joy where sorrow once grew, and bringing forth something beautifully new from what you thought was the end. Your mother's voice echoes through my spirit, saying, Lord, please let them know it's okay to be happy again. Let them feel joy without guilt. Let them smile without wondering if it's too soon. Let them move forward, not to forget me, but to carry me with them into the life you are still shaping for them. And I have answered her prayer. I am giving you permission to live again, to love again, to breathe again without the weight of grief pressing against your soul. You are not leaving her behind, you are carrying her forward. Not in grief, but in legacy. Not in sadness, but in spirit. Her love is part of your strength now, woven into your very being. Her prayers have built the bridge you are walking on this very moment, and the blessings I am now releasing over you are rooted in the seeds of love she sowed while on earth, and even more so in heaven. Her love has not vanished. Her presence has not been lost. She is closer to me now, and because of that, closer to you than ever before. You are chosen, you are held, you are favored. You are the one her spirit watches over. Not out of worry, but with hope. Hope that you will rise higher than she ever dreamed. Hope that you will break the chains she could not. Hope that you will carry forward everything pure, holy, and strong that she tried to plant within you. And you will, for my spirit, her prayers and your faith are now united as one divine thread, woven together to lead you into healing, restoration, and the radiant future I have prepared for you. Not by human might, not by striving or weary effort, but by my spirit, the spirit now flowing gently through every room of your soul. I am healing what was broken in secret and binding what sorrow has torn apart. I am lifting your head, whispering over you the truth that has always been yours. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are not alone, even in your loneliest nights. When silence wrapped itself around you and tears fell without witness, angels stood beside you. Prayers from hearts that loved you encircled you. Love itself never left you. And now peace, not a fleeting visitor, but a lasting presence, is coming to dwell with you. For your heart is ready now. You are open, still, and listening. Your mother's spirit has never rested idly in heaven. Her heart has remained interwoven with yours, moving through every storm you endured, every valley you walked through, every quiet collapse where you wondered how to face another day. She has never ceased praying. And I, the God who neither slumbers nor sleeps, have never ceased listening. There were moments when the weight of her absence pressed upon you until it almost broke you. Moments of guilt for words left unspoken, for not recognizing the final goodbye as it came. You've replayed those memories, wondering if she truly knew how deeply you loved her. My child, she did. She absolutely did. She felt your love in the way you looked at her, in the way your spirit reached toward her when words could not form, and she feels it still. What was left unsaid on earth is now being heard in heaven. Speak from your spirit, even if all you can manage is a whisper. Every word you release, I will carry to her heart. And this is what she longs for you to know. She never held anything against you. She never wanted you burdened with the weight of unfinished moments or unresolved memories. Her desire is that you live freely now, guilt-free, shame-free, covered by the fullness of the grace she now fully understands. You were not created to walk beneath the shadow of sorrow for the rest of your days. That is not my will for you. Her joy in heaven is radiant, but it will not be complete until you also walk in peace. That is why she begged me to allow this message to reach you before despair could take root too deeply in your heart. I have slowed time, softened your spirit, and prepared this very moment so that you might not only hear her love, but feel my love flowing through hers. I know the hidden grief, the kind you never told anyone about, the kind that made celebrations seem quieter and certain dates on the calendar ache like wounds. But now I am sending healing into all of it. Not a surface comfort that fades, but a deep, soul-level restoration. I am transforming pain into purpose, ashes into beauty, heaviness into hope. Do not think yourself weak for feeling as you do. You are not broken because you miss her so deeply. You are human, and you are profoundly loved. She understands now in ways she never could before. She longs for you to extend to yourself the same compassion you once offered to her, to rest without guilt, to laugh again without fear, to feel without shame, to cry when tears need to flow, and to rise again when your heart is ready. Hear her words as she would speak them herself. I never stopped loving you, not once, not even when we misunderstood each other. Not even when distance came between us. My love never changed, and now it never will. She sees what lies ahead for you, the blessings I am preparing, and her spirit rejoices. She dances in my presence with a joy so pure, knowing that the best chapters of your story are yet to unfold. Her final message was never about goodbye. It was always about reminding you that your life still carries divine purpose, that your future still holds beauty, and that every step you take is guided by my loving hand. There will be signs, gentle, holy reminders of her nearness, a familiar scent that fills the air, a phrase that echoes her voice, a sudden wave of peace that comes uninvited yet unmistakable. That is her, that is me. That is the eternal bond that will never break. When those moments come, do not brush them away, receive them. Let them remind you that she is not gone. She is glorified, radiant, waiting to see you again, whole, healed, and free. There is no greater way to honor her than to live the life she dreamed for you, not a life without pain, but one filled with purpose. A life where you rise again not by your own strength but by mine. A life where love flows freely without walls, laughter returns without fear, and dreams awaken with faith. Let your heart open to what I am doing. Let her words, her love, and her faith become part of your steps, for together she in heaven and you on earth, your story is still unfolding under the gentle guidance of my eternal spirit. Let this be the sacred chapter where peace no longer visits and leaves, but takes its eternal place within your heart, where grief finally yields to joy, and sorrow loosens its hold to make space for divine comfort. If your heart is open to receive the heavenly flood of peace and love that I am releasing, know this: she no longer looks upon you with sadness. She gazes upon you now with radiant joy, because she sees what is coming. She sees the blessing I am preparing to pour into your life, the healing that will mend what was broken, the favor that will surround you like a shield, the peace that will settle over your soul, and the strength that will flow into every space where pain once lived. She sees you, my beloved, slowly stepping into the light, bravely, beautifully, and with grace. No longer bound by the weight of earthly things, her spirit is alive in me. And from where she now stands, she sees clearly the full picture, the truth you could not yet perceive when grief clouded your eyes. She sees my hand steady and faithful, covering you from the very day she left this world. She sees how I protected your mind when it was close to breaking, how I shielded your heart when it was too fragile to bear another wound, how I held your spirit when you no longer knew how to keep moving forward. And now she smiles with heavenly joy because everything she prayed for you is beginning to bloom in its appointed season. She has spoken to me, and I tell you what she asked me to tell you. Let them know I am proud of them even if the world forgets to say it. Let them know I see how much they've grown, how they've risen after every fall. Let them know I am cheering them on. And so I speak her words to your heart because I want you to hear what others have not said enough. You are doing better than you think. You have endured storms most could not survive. You have faced darkness and still chosen to hope. You are still standing, still breathing, still believing, even when the weight of life tried to crush you. That is not weakness, that is victory. That is the kind of strength heaven honors and calls blessed. And if you are still standing after everything life has tried to take from you, then know this truth: you were never unseen. Even in the quiet moments when you wondered if anyone noticed your tears, even when you whispered in the dark, "Lord, are you still with me?" I say to you now, yes, I have never left. I was with you in the hospital room. I was with you at the funeral. I was beside you through sleepless nights and hollow mornings when your world felt emptied of meaning. I was there when you held her hand for the last time. And I was the first holder when her spirit rose to meet me. You were never alone. Not then. Not now. Your mother walks in glory now. Her body knows no more pain. Her mind is free from all confusion. She sees with perfect clarity the divine thread that still binds her heart to yours. She knows now how deep your love ran. She knows the words you could never say, and she pleads with you now: stop carrying the ache as though it were your burden to bear. It never was. Let it go. Let your heart breathe freely again. She wants you to sing once more, without the tremble of tears holding back your joy. She wants you to look forward without guilt, to live without feeling as though moving ahead means leaving her behind. Because you are not leaving her. You carry her, not merely in memory but in spirit. She has become part of your faith, part of your strength, part of your divine inheritance. And I have allowed this so you would understand that your grief was never a punishment. It was a sacred passage. Through it you have discovered deeper love, deeper awareness, and a deeper connection with me. So now receive this love, this covering, this healing that heaven has long prepared for your soul. You have walked through the fire and emerged alive. Even if the ashes still cling to your soul, do not fear. They will soon fall away. For I am making all things new. I am replacing your mourning with meaning, your pain with purpose, your ache with anointing. You are about to see how her legacy continues to move in unseen ways within your life. Doors are opening not by chance, but by my grace. Opportunities are unfolding because her prayers still echo before my throne. She prayed for your peace, your provision, your relationships, your home, and I have not forgotten a single word. Soon, blessings will arise in your life that you cannot explain. You will ask, how did this happen? And I will answer, because of love, because of a mother's final prayer, because of a child who chose to keep their heart tender, even through sorrow. You have honored her more deeply than you realize. And now I am honoring you not for perfection, but for faithfulness. You stayed, you endured, you loved, even through loss. And that, my beloved, moves my heart. You have grown so used to pushing through pain that you have almost forgotten how to rest in peace. Not the peace that comes from an easy life, but the peace that comes from knowing you are not walking this journey alone. This is the peace your mother pleaded with me to give you, a moment where the world pauses, the burdens lift, and your soul finally feels her presence once again. Rest now in that peace. It is not the end of the story, but the beginning of a new one, written with divine love, sealed with eternal hope, and carried by the gentle breath of my spirit. Not in memory, not in sorrow, but in spirit, wrapped in warmth, comfort, and the divine presence of heaven itself. There is a peace that surpasses understanding, and it is being released over you now. The world may speak of freedom in many forms, but true freedom begins in the soul. It is not born of chance or circumstance, but awakened by divine truth, quietly written into the hearts of those who dare to believe. She once prayed, Lord, they have been strong for too long. Let them be held now. Let them feel safe again. And I heard her prayer. Even now, I am fulfilling it. I am covering you with a peace that does not need to be explained. A peace that moves gently but powerfully, settling deep into your bones, quieting every restless place within you. It is a peace that carries her love within it, wrapping your heart in a soft whisper that says, you are allowed to breathe, you are allowed to cry, you are allowed to heal. You are not weak for needing comfort, you are not less faithful for feeling pain. It is in fact through your pain that I have drawn closer, and through your mother's love that I have come to speak what your soul has long needed to hear. She wants you to forgive what life did not give you. She knows the disappointments, the prayers that seemed unanswered, the doors that never opened, the seasons that felt too long and too unfair. She has seen your silent battles, and she now asks you to release the bitterness that has quietly taken root inside you. Not because it wasn't real, not because it didn't matter, but because it is time for you to be free. You have carried the weight long enough. Let it rest now in my hand. You are never meant to bear it alone. I am calling you to lay down what has been too heavy for too long. If your heart is ready, if your soul whispers yes, then know this: freedom begins here. She watches you now, not with sorrow, but with radiant pride, seeing you take steps she once dreamed you would take. Even when you feel still, even when you think you are behind, she sees the quiet movement within your heart. She sees the healing unfolding, the light returning. And it fills her with such deep joy that it becomes worship before my throne. She no longer wants your life to feel like survival. She wants it to feel like purpose, because that is what I placed within you from the beginning. She saw it in you long before you could see it in yourself. And now, as her spirit is joined with mine, she is interceding for that divine purpose to rise again from the dust. And I am answering, not tomorrow, not someday, but now. A holy shift is happening within your soul. A door is opening in the unseen realm. Soon, you will begin to notice your thoughts changing. The way peace quietly replaces anxiety, the way hope returns to places that once felt dry and weary, the way your heart begins to believe again. That is me, that is her. That is the power of divine love surrounding you, healing you, and preparing you for the new life I am about to unfold before you. Rest in this moment. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead is breathing upon you now. And where there was heaviness, there shall be freedom. Where there was sorrow, there shall be song. Where there was despair, there shall be radiant joy. Because love has remembered you, heaven has touched you, and the peace you longed for has finally come to stay.